Instagram live right now when it's dugout time. Don't worry, we'll be with the dugout. We'll be presenting the dugout to you in just a short moment from now. But first things first, important to tell you guys what is it that the Indian camp is feeling at the moment. That press conference, much awaited press conference on the eve of the test match has happened. Rishabh Pant, the vice captain of the side, was the one to represent the Indian team. In moments from now, in fact, you will have the actual press conference be up on Sports Today as well. But due diligence first, so I'm going to be apprising you of everything that Rishabh Pant said in that 12-minute press conference that took place at Lords. A couple of things that he touched upon. One, of course, was the pitch. Second was India's combination and then the ball controversy. A lot is being said in the English media about the ball losing its shape. Rishabh Pant has also now lent his views on it. We heard after the match got over, the Indian captain Shubman Gill said that the sport is losing its essence if the ball is going to be not helping the bowlers much. So let me go point by point and tell you what is it that Rishabh Pant has said on all these aspects. Let's start with India's combination because that is what interests you and me the most. That question was asked whether India are going with three quicks plus one spinner, or they're going to be sticking with the 3+2 formula which we saw in the previous match. You had a Washington Sundar as well. Rishabh Pant's not given us a definitive answer over there. He says both options are open. The Indian team, because the color of the pitch changes as you move closer to the match, they are waiting to take the final call on the very day of the match. So it could be both 3+1 or 3+2 as well. This is what Rishabh Pant said. But looking at the surface, since I touched upon the surface, he said looking at the surface, we're not too worried about the conditions that are given to us. The conversation, he says, that the team had was about, and prior to the tour, he sort of meant that for England to play that they like playing, the pitches always had to be good to bat on. So their concern was not batting, their concern was 20 wickets, and that's something that we've heard from Gautam Gambhir. We've heard from Shubman Gill as well talk about the essence of taking, the importance of taking 20 wickets. Let me now move forward and tell you what is it that he said on the whole ball controversy. He said that it really gets irritating for players. It's not good, again, for the game, for the health of the game, that the ball loses its shape too soon, that it loses its shine, it becomes soft, it becomes hard for the batter as well on few occasions, and for the bowlers more so. So he says, yes, it's a matter that needs to be looked into, but as players, he says, we need to accept everything that comes our way. We are not the decision makers, and we will see if there is any change in decision that the concerned authorities make. So we've talked about the Indian team's lineup. What is it that it could look like? I've also told you about the wicket. Now let's talk about the short turnaround. Not too much of a gap that we see, unlike what was the case between the first two matches of the series. He says we're happy. A team that is in momentum at the moment, a team that's just come off a victory. The short turnaround actually helps you as a team. So Rishabh Pant is happy. He says the camp is happy because you've got that momentum. It's and the short turnaround, which often at times leads to a lot of pressure. It leads to a lot of you looking around the things logistically. Things get difficult for you to manage at times. He says, but we don't mind that right now. The physical toll, all of that is completely fine. We are happy that this game is happening rather soon for us. Akashdeep's sister as well, that conversation also came up, that question also came up in the press conference. He said that, listen, I've been close to him, and this is a thing I knew about since IPL, but it's good. Certain things must not come out in public, or if they have to, there's a certain time for it, and they're best sort of addressed in a personal space. And he says that this is how it should be, and then the team remains in constant touch with Akashdeep, and is in fact backing him and is supporting him in this tough moment for him and his for his side. So those were the few takeaways as far as As far as India's combination, the wicket, India's preparation is concerned, Indian team is ready. Jasprit Bumrah will be back, as was confirmed to us immediately after India won that historic Test match in in Birmingham. Beg your pardon. And let's see then what is it, whether it'll be 3+1, 3+2. That we'll see, but no mention of a four pace attack. That is something that can be ascertained, because nowhere were we given that indication. And the color of the pitch has also interestingly changed a lot from what we saw. We showed you here on Sports Today as well, that from what the pitch looked like a couple of days back to yesterday evening, the color of the pitch had changed. So if there was supposedly just about 10 mm, 12 mm, or even more grass, way more than in fact 10 mm that we saw 2 days back, that had drastically come down last evening. And you do expect there to be more shaving as we progress into the test match. How much of that shaving happens today and tomorrow, that is something we'll have to wait and see. But it'll be interesting what is it that India opt for in the third test match. There's going to be a Jofra Archer who's already going to be playing. I see some comments as well. A couple of you have talked about what India should be going in as far as their pace attack is concerned. I'll quickly take a few comments before we come to you live with the dugout. Boom, Akash and Siraj are the super three, and that I believe also will be your combination in Lords. Sayed Nizamuddin is saying Eastwaran probably won't be getting a space in this side in tomorrow's match. I fear the same as well. Abhimanyu Eastwaran, I don't think he's making it to the conversation right now. There is a talk about whether if it's a green track, if it ends up being seam friendly for that matter, can Sai Sudarshan be plugged back into the team as a pure batter, because you'll need technically strong players as well. There's a mention of Sarfaraz in the comments as well. All of those things we will have to wait and see. Sarfaraz nowhere in the conversation at the moment, as we know he scored 100 as well in that intra squad match, but nothing seems to be going right for him all the way from that Australia tour for that matter. But completely out of time right now, I'm sorry I couldn't take more comments, but join us live for the dugout in a couple of moments. That's where we'll be having an extensive, exhaustive, lengthy conversation. Yes, Manu John, Jofra Archer in fact is confirmed. The England 11 is out. There's only one change. Josh Tongue has gone out. Jofra Archer has been included into the side. It's been a long wait for Jofra Archer as well to come back to the test format. So much to talk about, so much more to deliberate on, and I'll see you now live in a couple of moments from the Sports Today studio, where I'll be joined by Siddharth Gulati, Nikhil and Sashwat as well. So give us your company as always in the evening, and we look forward to your thoughts. Thank you so much, everyone.